Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to our afternoon session. Hope you guys had an enjoyable lunch, but also a very productive networking. Hope you were able to navigate the wonderful virtual conference halls and also the exhibitors and sponsors. So I hope you learned a lot. And again, for everyone to not panic, all of the presentations that we had this morning, if you missed it or if you were there and just wanted to see it again, this will all be available to you guys until February 28 to watch on demand on your own time. So again, once again, I'm Danny Laurel, your host for the PSE Investment Expo 2022. A very fun and engaging session is coming your way as our moderator and panelists will be sharing their own money stories. No presentations, we've had a very, very heavy morning full of data, full of financial talk. And now it's just going to be a very cozy afternoon chat. And here to lead the conversation is the president and CEO of Empower and Transform OPC, a young company composed of dynamic people that has the expertise and experience in using COVID-induced massive movement of activities for the advancement of financial education for Filipinos here and overseas. She is also the resident financial advisor, managing producer, and head writer of On the Money, a personal finance show aired on the ABS-CBN News channel, where she has a regular segment called Salve Says. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all please welcome ang finance beshi ng bayan, Miss Salve Duplito. Hi Salve, welcome!
Hi, Danny. Thank you for that very warm welcome and very energetic open to our session.
Kailangan.
Oo nga,
Kailangan
kasi
You know,
kala
there's
ng kape, kakatapos lang mag-lunch.
I know, and that's why we need you to keep this energy going, Salve. And I have no doubt that you'll be able to do this. So, I'm going to turn over the floor to you because you have a lot to be tackling and, of course, very important guests to be introducing. So, over to you.
Thank you, Danny. Hello sa lahat ng nakikinig at nanonood ngayong hapon. After kanina, medyo konting breather tayo ngayon dahil ang mga guests natin ay parang magbabarkada lang na nagkukwentuhan. Kaya ayun nga, sana hindi kayo makatulog and stay tuned dahil alam ko maraming mga activities pa later kaya dapat hindi kayo mawala. Pero alam nyo, nakakatawa kasi lagi kong naririnig during COVID daw, dalawa lang yung pwede mangyari sa relationships. Whether, number one, naging closer kayo o number two, medyo nagka-problema kasi you're stuck together in the house or yung mga kaibigan nyo na hindi nyo na nakikita the next time you see each other or you talk in that Zoom party, parang sabi nga ng mga anak ko, parang I don't know how to be human anymore. Kaya ngayon, kukumustahin naman natin ang relationships ninyo during this pandemic with not just your family members, friends, colleagues, or significant others, but yung isa pang relationship na medyo may pagka-volatile din, yan ang relationship natin sa pera. O, bakit? Pag nandyan, tinitake for granted natin, di ba? Add to cart ng add to cart as if there's no tomorrow. Akala natin hindi yan mauubos. Definitely, before the pandemic, we all felt like that. Tapos, pag wala naman pera, hinahanap-hanap. Kaya ngayon, pag-uusapan natin with our three very important guests, yung relationship with money. Constantly struggling ba yan? Always peaceful ba? Minsan parang sa umaga, bati kayo. Sa gabi, magkagalit na kayo. Ayaw nyo nang magkita-kita. So let's hear from these three young, hardworking, and impressive guests who are using social media to help Filipinos improve their relationships with kaperahan. They're here to share their own financial journey with us. So it's time to meet our panelists. First, we have the founder of the Global Filipino Investors, a community that aims to improve the financial well-being of every Filipino, better known as TGFI. The group has over 700,000 Facebook followers. Nung nag-join yata ako sa TGFI noon, parang 5,000 pa lang. Ano, Floy? Please welcome Mr. Floy Wicoco. Good afternoon, Floy. Nakamute ka. Anak, nakamute
Good afternoon. Magandang araw sa inyo lahat. So, hi to all of our viewers in the PSE Investment Expo. Hello. Miss Salve.
Wow, Miss Salve, napaka-formal natin ngayon. Sabi ko pa lang kanina, bawal ang formal dahil gigisingin natin, Floy, ang ating mga viewers.
Yes.
Kaya, ayan, mamaya alam ko maraming kwento si Floy tungkol sa relationship with money dahil ang relationship mo with money, hindi naman laging bati kayo, no? Minsan dati, magkagalit kayo dati, di ba?
Oo.
Lalo na po nung OFW pa yan, kaya babalikan natin yan mamaya. Next na ating guest is si Nicole Alba, a YouTube content creator who produces videos on personal finance, investing, self-development, and other fun and interesting things. Nakilala ko to si Nicole, high school pa lang siya. O, di ba? Hindi ko nabubukingin. Actually, sinabihan ko siya kahapon, ipapalabas ko yung picture nating dalawa nung high school ka pa. Pero wag na lang, her YouTube channel has over 350,000 subscribers. Hello, Nicole. How are you doing today?
Wait lang.
Hi, nandiyan ka na.
Yun, okay. Hi, hello, good afternoon. Hi, Miss Salve. Hello sa lahat na nanonood. Bread Fam, shout out. Oo, medyo matagal ko nakilala si Miss Salve. Sabi ko nga, oh no, she's gonna expose me dito sa event. But really excited sa what we're gonna talk about later along with the other guests. No? Yes.
Grabe, Nicole, kanina, pag log on ko dun sa platform natin, alam mo, unang comment na nakita ko dun sa session, go, Nicole, go! Ibang
Thank you.
level talaga yung iyong bread fam. Bakit nga ba nagsimula sa... Ano nga ba yung bread fam na yan? Pag nanonood ako ng YouTube episodes mo, laging bread fam. Tsaka meron ka mga bread, di ba, talaga? Sa mga episodes mo. Mamaya ikwento mo, ha? Bakit may ganyan? Ayan. Yung next guest naman natin, completing our panel, is Antoinette Aquino, a senior financial advisor and a certified associate financial planner. Her Facebook page, Money Health Check, provides content on how to lead a financially successful life. Alam ko walang tao na ayaw yan. Kaya lahat tayo gusto natin yan. She also creates money-related content in her TikTok account, which now has over 300,000 followers. Ako yata 10,000 lang followers ko. Sila, grabe, daan-daang libo. Hi, Antoinette. Good afternoon.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Thank you again for inviting me here. Super excited din. Salves. Para
ayan.
di miss Sab. Mas formal.
Wala magmi-miss kasi magmumukha talaga akong nanay ninyong lahat. Kahapon sinabihan kita, dapat may sample ng TikTok, ha?
Ay, wala po ko alam dyan. Pero sige, ano po song request? You ready naman ba?
Ay,
Nag-rehearse na ako before.
Sige ha, guys. Diyan mga nakikinig. Song request daw. Sabihan nyo para mamaya mapilitan talaga siyang sumayaw. For all of us, let's call back Floy and Nicole. Ayan. Kasi, meron tayong game. Sabi ko nga, Antoinette, Floy, and Nicole, tuwang-tuwa ako kasi the PSE now is a lot more approachable kasi parang yung mga events may pangmasa peg na like this one, our game, ang tawag dito, gagastusin or iipunin. It sounds like what game, Antoinette?
Jojowain or Toto pa.
Diba? Alam nyo
Gen Z.
ba yun?
Gen Z tayo, Miss Sab. Dapat hindi halata na.
Yes. Gen Z din ako. No? Ano ba? Okay, asa na si Floyd tsaka si Nicole? Balik na natin dahil we will mention expected money moments. So, let's ask our panelists what they will do with their money with that specific moment. At gusto ko kayo din sa audience, ha? Please feel free to type in your answers in our chat box. Dalawa lang po ang sagot, ipon o gastos. At walang judgment dito, kaya dapat yung katotohanan lang talaga ang nilalagay na sagot. Handa na ba aking mga panelists with your pre-written answers?
Ready.
Ready na. Okay, sige, game. First money moment. Yung natanggap mo yung regalong yung matatanggap mong pera sa next birthday mo, anong gagawin? Yung totoo, ha, be honest.
Ay, hindi kita. Hindi ko kita. Ayan.
Ayan.
Hello?
Gayahin nyo si Antoinette para makita. Pag nilapit nyo sa screen, hindi ko nakikita.
Ayan.
Ayun!
Yun! Ipo.
Nakisusulat
Floy,
ka.
hindi
Diba?
ko nakita. Hindi ko nakita
Akin.
sa iyo, Floy. Ilapit mo sa, chest mo.
Yan, ipon.
Ipon, gastos. Unahin natin yung kakaiba. Yes,
Okay.
gastos. Okay. Anong bibilin mo, Tonet?
Actually, to tell you the truth, I've never received money as a birthday gift. Sana all lang talaga, no, may pera. Like the most was, baka naman, malapit na Chinese New Year. So I've never received money, but if I were to receive, it wouldn't be much. So I would use that to put it in my what I call the happy account or my wants account. Because everything that I earn through labor, I use that for my basic needs or for my expenses. So, syempre, I love to shop like you, Miss Salve. I love clothes. I love perfume. So, I would
Nilaglag mo
use
talaga
that to
ako,
spend. To enjoy life din. Yan yung answer ko.
Yeah. Sa totoo naman, I also love clothes and I love perfume. Nagpaparinig din po ako, baka naman. Same lang tayo. Okay, Floy and Nicole, honestly, like 100% of the gift, hindi nyo man lang titikman kahit nabuko pay lang dyan. Wala?
Ako talaga, eto yun.
Go.
Sige, go.
Go,
Okay.
Nicole, go.
Ako talaga, whenever I receive money, I think of it as bonus kasi ako, I don't, like, kunwari, mga angpao kasi Chinese, diba? Almost Chinese New Year or kahit sa birthday. When I receive, this is free money and I don't feel the right to spend it. Okay lang sa akin gumastos kung ako yung, ano to? Hindi mo na magsalita, sorry.
Chinese mo na lang.
Hindi, pero I feel more comfortable spending the money I actually worked hard for. So, kung ako yung kumita ng pera, yun yung gagastos ko. Pero pag bonus, di ba, like gift na pera, I'll save it na lang.
Opposite tayo.
Sana all ganun, di ba? Kasi ako feeling ko, Nicole, 0.001% ka lang ng human population. Kasi karamihan ng tao, pero mas gagastusin mo pag hindi mo pinaghirapan, di ba? Di ba? I mean, that's the nature. Ewan ko kung agree kayo sa akin. Ikaw, Floy.
Sa akin kasi, again, same as kay Nicole, no? So more of ipon. Kasi nga naging kaugalian ko, for example, the last I had my birthday, no? So I thought of buying PS5. So hindi ko binili yung PS5. Instead, what I did, bumili ako ng investment. So two type of investments yung binili ko. And then after a couple of months, yung value ng investment na yun, more than 100% of value. So yung pambili ko supposedly ng PS5, nagkaroon na ako ng extra pambili ng PS5.
Dalawang PS5 na.
So and then every 13th month or whatever bonus, naging kaugalian na, parang it's also part of challenge to myself na for example, every year I will challenge myself, anong bagong investment yung lalagyan ko ng pera or anong bagong business or investment yung paglalagyan ko. So, nagagawa ko siya in the last couple of years, as in, consistent naman. So, sa awa ng Diyos, nagagawa naman po.
Oo, pero maganda yung transformation. Pag-usapan, kung ganyan ba talaga kayo dati pa or bago lang yan, pero babasahin muna natin, sabi ni Joshua Olit, ipon. Kim Joshua Olit pala yan. Puro ipon talagang iniisip niya. Sabi ni Chriselle naman, gastos daw siya. Team Antoinette yon. Team Antoinette. And Salve. Gastos, Chriselle. Sabi ni Angeli Parondo, gastos din daw siya. Hulaan ko kaya kung anong mga edad nito. Same sentiments with Nicole, sabi ni Jessa Ann Galino. At si Christopher, ayan, sabi ko na magkaibigan to eh. Si Christopher Parenya, sabi niya 50% ipon, 50% gastos. So 50% Antoinette, 50% Nicole. Di ba? Yan. So, tingin ko, maganda ding pinaplano na yan before pa natanggap yung pera. Like sometimes, talagang hirap kasi gusto mo talagang gastusin. Pero meron kang goal, tapos ma-achieve mo lang yung goal na yon kung nag-team Nicole ka. So, maganda yung na-decide ka na malayo pa yung birthday mo. Kasi pag nandyan na talaga yung extra money, my gosh, di ba Antoinette, nakakagigil siya. Pero, meron din ako mga nakilala na, na-excite sila mag-shopping. Pero shopping ng stocks nga daw. Di ba? Parang feeling nila, nag-shopping sila pero for something that increases in value. Next question. Eto na. Sahod sa mga racket this year.
Ay, nawala.
Pero nakita ko, Antoinette, mag-iipon. Iipon din
Yes,
si
eto naman. I
Floy.
know.
And Floy, ilapit mo sa chest mo, wag sa screen.
Hindi nakikita eh. Ipon. Basta ipon yan. Letter S.
Okay, lahat po sila ipon, pero may apple.
Ipon. Ito nakita ko sa Google eh. Na may word.
iPhone yan eh. Ikaw eh. Okay.
Oh.
Sige. So, paano nyo nagagawa yung disiplina ng ano? Ng lahat ng kita sa racket iniipon?
Okay. Siguro I'll start na din. So, back before I started working in finance, I was a raketera talaga. So, obviously, I think of the money I earn as like my life energy. And that's why I'm more meticulous when it comes to spending it. So, it's either I use it again, anything that I earn through labor and hard work, I use that to manage it to pay for my future self, which is my investments or my basic needs. And then anything in excess like birthday gifts, which I never receive, na money or ang tao, I use that for my wants naman. So in a sense, I agree with you, Salve, that everything has to be pre-planned. And that's my plan. Anything I get in excess, okay, I'll use that for my wants, but that's rare. Diba? So ayun yung explanation. Pinag-defend talaga.
Guys, napansin
Pinaglaban ko.
Dinidiin niya talaga na hindi niya natatanggap eh. Kaya kung sino man ang pinaparinggan niyan, sana hindi kayo nabingi ngayong hapon na to. Floy and Nicole, pansin ko si Antoinette at si Nicole, magkaiba yung style. Pero I think the outcome almost the same. No, magkaiba lang yung source ng iniipon at iba yung source ng ginagastos. I'll ask Floy naman next. Paano mo nagagawa na yung racket? Ito talaga si Floy, maraket talaga to eh. Kaya ang laki siguro ng ipon nito.
Well, sa akin naman, Ninang, hindi ako sanay na tinatawag kang Salve. So, Ninang Salve. So, sa akin kasi, kumbaga, part din nung yearly goals ko is, aside from adding more investments, adding, of course, yung net worth, no, on the positive side. So, kaya every time na meron akong extra, no, so all the sideline jobs that I do, never ko siyang ginastos. In fact, every time that I earn something from it, no, at of course, kunyari, I earn from dividends, I earn from whatever sideline, yung earning na yun, I will reinvest it. Kumbaga, from all the years na ginagawa itong within this financial literacy industry, kumbaga, I also need to walk the talk, no. So, every time that I have any extra, I make sure that yung extra na yun mapapalago ko pa. And it's also masarap yung pakiramdam eh. Kasi nga napagdaanan ko na rin, no. So I was before bankrupt and ayoko na siya pagdaanan again.
Ang sakit, no? Talagang bankrupt, ganun.
Oo.
Bankrupt.
So ayoko na talaga pagdaanan. As in, dumating ako sa point na 50 pesos na lang yung laman ng pera ko. Tapos kasama ko sa office. We were about to go to a client. Nagtingin na kami kung sino yung magbabayad sa pambayad ng jeep. So, hindi ko mailabas yung sa akin kasi pag nilabas ko, wala na akong pang lunch ng araw na yun.
So, nagpalibre ka na lang.
Well,
sana naman lalaki to, no?
Babae yun. Pero I had no choice. Ako pa rin naglabas ng pera. So, naghintay ako na dumabas yung sweldo namin. Doon lang ako nakakain ng lunch. I mean,
Antoinette, kung ikaw yung kasama niya sa jeep, anong gagawin mo?
Ay, di ko pa siya papansin eh. Basta di na ako magko-comment. Showbiz answer. Yun yung showbiz answer ko.
Ikaw, Nicole, nasa financial literacy field ka na, and your YouTube videos are essentially like a video diary of what you're learning. So it's not preachy because kinukwento mo lang na ito yung nag-experience mo, gusto mo tong matutunan, trinay mo siya, tapos ayan. So, ang dami mong followers, pag so ngayon, marami ka na rin racket. Di ba?
Well, medyo, dati talaga, I think all of us maraket dito eh. And natandaan ko talaga, once I decided na, yes, kikita na ako kahit na wala pa akong trabaho. Buy and sell, mga ganun, freelance project. Like, sobrang na-enjoy ko yun na parang bata pa lang ako, you don't need an actual job, no, to earn money. Kasi dati, yun yung tinuturo, diba, sa mga bata na kailangan, when you get older, you get a good job, tapos dun ka lang kikita ng malaki. But in the time that we're in right now, especially kami, social media, right? There's so many ways to earn money now. Talagang, ewan ko but Yeah, ewan ko.
Ayaw niya magyabang. Napansin niya. Nahihiya.
Hindi naman kasi ako hindi naman special ang ginagawa ko. Kahit ako nga hindi naman ako expert sa money. Kaya it's still crazy to me to think na may talagang nanonood ng mga videos ko. I was just looking for something. Bored na ako noong 2020, gawa-gawa ko ng videos. Tapos all of a sudden, may 350,000, 360,000 na pala yung, grabe
360 na.
Oo, it's crazy. Ewan ko.
Ayan. Pero I think yung sense of accountability, parang yun siguro. Kasi alam mo, like sinabi ni Floy kanina, and ni Antoinette also, because you're in this field, you have to walk the talk.
I think it's
Diba?
very special to have more people talking about money. Kasi especially sa culture ng Filipino, diba? Medyo taboo siya. Ayaw pag-usapan. But it's nice to have more people, like maybe like me or people like me. Kasi usually people who talk about these things tend to be older. Usually matanda na, they already did it. Pero ako, I think the value in my videos. And also looking at Antoinette and then Sir Floy, that we're younger, and even though we are younger, we can learn how to be responsible with money kaagad. You don't need to be like an old guy. No, anyone can learn how to manage.
Ang sakit, grabe.
Hindi, Miss Alve. Miss Alve, bata ka pa lang.
Gen Z nga daw ako, sabi ni Antoinette. Hindi ako yun. Yung iba mga nanonood dito, joke lang. Okay, sabi ng mga nanonood, natutuwa daw sila sa interaction kasi ang dadaldal natin, guys. So, ituloy natin yan. Sabi ni Yvette Kabuhat said, ipon kasi pinaghirapan na yan. So, tama, ni-racket mo, pinaghirapan mo na, so iipunin mo na. Pero ako siguro kalahati din. Merong confession, guys. Sabi naman ni Catherine Tabon, ipon, kaya lang wala daw siyang racket. So, matuto ka kay Nicole, rumakit, ganyan. Sabi naman ni Emmanuel Leong, the money you save is the money you earn. Di ba yung mga usong-uso, lagi inuulit-ulit natin yan pag ng mga speaking engagements. Si JR naman, sabi niya, gastos and konting ipon. So, some of our viewers, hati-hati, yung iba talagang ipon. I guess it depends on your situation in life. And definitely, there's no one-size-fits-all solution to all of these things. Talagang kanya-kanya diba? Si Antoinette, alam na alam niya yan kasi maraming nang hihingi sa kanya ng advice. Ayun. Final item. Yung kinita nyo sa investments.
So,
pambili ng Birkin niya ni Antoinette.
Ay, Miss Alve, baka naman, pwede din ka, malapit na din nga din yung birthday ko. Mga December pa naman.
Ang lapit nga. Puro ipon to. Okay. So, ipon ba o reinvest? Or when you say ipon, you mean reinvest?
Reinvest.
Reinvest.
Yeah,
Okay.
reinvest.
Isa na lang ang tatanungin ko sa inyong tatlo kasi marami pang Tanungin natin yung the only girl among the thorns. So, Floy, because you say reinvest, and eto, ikukot-kutin ko yung kwento ng buhay mo.
Yeah.
Because medyo pinahagingan mo na kanina na when you were an OFW, bangkarote tayo, umuwi ka ng Pilipinas, matagal ka nagtrabaho pero wala kang dala-dala. And so, your transformation to somebody who sets aside everything that he earns as much as possible, tapos i-reinvest mo yun, what has that done for you?
Well, siguro dahil I was able to experience it already. And I felt na okay na naramdaman ko na yung at one point in my life, nakapag-splurge ako, nabili ko yung mga gusto kong mabili, kahit more than the things that I want. And for me, masaya siya pero it's very temporary And well, of course, we all know that temporarily lang tayo sa buhay. But what we want and what I also want to happen is that pagtanda ko, ayaw ko talaga na pinoproblema ko yung pera to the point na, for example, may mga apo-apo na ako. No? So lagi rin natin ito sinasabi every time we have a talk na pagka may mga apo ka, gusto mo ba pag-aagawan ka ng mga apo mo or mga anak mo pagtanda mo dahil
or itatakwil ka
pera, or pagbabato-bato ka parang sa'yo na si daddy dahil masakit na sa gastusin, ayaw mo nun, di ba? So I also have that kind of goal na gusto ko dumating sa yung time na anything that my children want, I can give to them as long as valid, as long as they deserve to get it. So, but of course, kailangan tinuturo din sa kanila how I was able to earn that money. So that pag laki nila, they will also be financially responsible.
If I may, ikichismis kita, Floy, kay Antoinette tsaka kay Nicole. Alam mo ba? Alam mo ba tong kaibigan
Marites
natin?
here.
Oo,
I'm
Marites.
excited. Okay.
Itong kaibigan natin kasi nung simula ng pandemya, nagka-COVID. Hindi lang siya nagka-COVID. Nagkaroon siya na-discover yung kanyang brain tumor.
Yes.
So, I mean, that was also difficult for me, right? Because we're very good friends. And lahat kami nag-worry talaga sa kanya. But I think, if you were still in that stage na kita, gastos,
Yes.
diba? Walang ipon in the middle.
Yeah.
Ang hirap nung sitwasyon na yun, diba?
Siguro
Ano masasabi nyo mga Marites? Wait, sila Marites
Yeah.
nga yung tinatanong ko, hindi ikaw. Ikaw, Nicole, kasi bata ka pa, sometimes as a young person, and I think a lot of our viewers today are very, very young kasi pabata yung nagkakaroon ng interest sa stock market. You feel like an immortal, di ba? Di na eternal. Nanood ba kayo nun? You feel like somebody who will live forever. Ano masasabi mo dyan, Nicole?
Grabe yun kasi especially na we're currently on an ongoing pandemic. The biggest things talaga in life sometimes na you think you're invincible tapos all of a sudden you get sick. Kami my experience kami, one of my family members kasi got COVID and talagang malaki yung financial gaping hole mangyayari if you get sick, no? Especially if you're not protected, insured, mga ganon. And sometimes when you're young, you do feel like you're invincible. I don't need to think about those things. But as you get older, talagang mapapaisip ka, masakit na yung likod ko. Yun, napapaisip ko na.
Aray! Kanina lang umaga, iniisip ko yung tuhod ko, nararamdaman ko na siya.
Hindi, pero ayan, it's very important talaga sometimes to think long term, no? Like, hindi naman tayo always young. I'm still good condition. But I know eventually tatanda tayo. Sabi nga ni Sir Floy, no? Like, we're here temporarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, you really need to think long term, prepare for those events, especially COVID, hindi na ngayon. Madali na ngayon magkasakit.
Yeah.
Totoo, grabe. Uy, wait lang, may isisingit akong comment, grabe. Mga Marites, may nakita akong comment ng isang viewer sa parang look-alike daw ni Heart Evangelista the Queen.
Oh my
Si Miss
God!
Antoinette,
naman.
Ernest,
where are you? Ba't di mo kayo invite sa Fashion Week? Joke.
I know, right? Hindi ba kasama doon? Parang sana naglalakad-lakad ka with all of those blings.
I wish. Thank you.
Nakita mo ba yung kanyang tiara? Ang laki. Anyway, sabi ni Robert Gonzalez, yesterday's profit is part of today's principal. Oh, di ba? Ganda. Alright, so guys, I hope you enjoyed that little game. Marami din ako natutunan sa aking tatlong guests at ito talaga ang katotohanan. For maybe for everybody who's here, because we're here, that means we like talking about money. Pero sa majority ng mga Pilipino, stressful topic talaga yon, lalo na nga siguro pag kulang, tapos ang pag-uusapan sino naman ang nakataya sa susunod na, emergency, 'di ba? Hindi lahat ng members of the family can pay for the emergency or the hospitalization of the parents. So nagiging stressful topic 'yan. Kaya ngayon, masaya dahil napakaraming content sa FB, sa YouTube, sa TikTok pa. Kaya nga gusto ko talaga i-balik si Nicole dahil pasayawin natin ang Heart Evangelista lookalike. Wala pa bang magre-request ng kanta? Ano ba naman kayo? Dali request ng kanta. So ngayon, pag sa TGFI, maraming content yan. Yung YouTube account ni Nicole. Naku, kahit na yata manood kayo araw-araw, hindi nyo na mahahabol panoorin lahat ng videos ni Nicole. Tapos si Antoinette, merong TikTok nga. Pero kadalasan, walang oras yung mga tao isipin kung ano nga ba ang dapat gagawin sa pera kasi hindi naman nila ito pa nahahawakan. The reality is, sabi nga ni Antoinette kanina, pagdating ng sweldo, pambayad na yan ng utang, bills, panggasto sa bahay, pampaaral sa kapatid, pantusto sa magulang. Siyempre, hindi natin titiisin yan. That's why it's very important for us to realize as early as possible, ano ba yung pera sa atin? Babalik natin yung ating panelist, pag-usapan natin yung finances. Okay, so, kayo ba, in your experience, kasi on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, people know you as somebody who talks about money. But in your personal circles, do you talk about money? And ano ba yung impact nun sa mga kaibigan nyo, sa family members nyo? Anong effect dun sa close circle nyo? Start tayo kay Heart. Queen Heart, come on. Unmute ka naman, girl. Unmute.
Hello. Ayan. Okay. Sorry, my bad. So the question is, how has it impacted my circle of friends? So I didn't grow up in a family that was very open about talking about finances because it was always a topic of stress for us. I mean, if we do talk about it, it's just going to lead to a lot of maybe disagreements. And that's why I've always avoided it growing up. And when I started earning my own money, that was, I mean, it showed how much I know about money management, which is, zero. And, that's why now that I'm in the finance industry, I'm always exposed to people who are open about discussing money matters. Because, like they say, talking about money is almost similar to talking about politics or religion. It's a very sensitive topic to talk about. And that's why it's important then that you also discuss money matters with people who discuss money matters. You don't just upfront tell people how much you're earning. So there are definitely etiquette rules to come with that. But helping, being with friends or networking with people who are open about those topics helped me in my own personal finances. And at the same time, I was able to share it to the people who watch me on TikTok. And that's how I'm able to meet the Salve Duplito, Nicole Alba, and Floy in a conference like this, diba? Madam Salve, you're on mute naman.
Ay, balikan ako tuloy. Okay, ano yung tawang-tawa ka ha? Ano yung pinaka-watch TikTok video mo?
Actually, my very first viral video was a video of me talking about stock quotes, how to read it in under 30 seconds. Because when you go on YouTube, you'll see 30-minute or to 1 hour videos explaining that. But I was able to synthesize it in 30 seconds and it got a lot of people interested in the stock market. And that's why that video got viral.
Nag-follow na ako sa'yo ha. Nag-follow na ako. So, harapin ko yun.
Thank you.
Wait. So, last question for you. Bago ko pumunta kay Floy. Floy, anak, ikaw na susunod ha. Ano yung pinaka-difficult moment that you had talking about money to somebody you love?
Difficult moment. So, to someone I love, are we talking partner or are we talking family?
Bahala ka na. Basta someone you love. O sige, partner. Total,
ay, wala naman po. So, family na lang. Wala naman po eh. Na-expose tuloy yung love life ko.
Ikaw ang nag-open yan. Okay.
Okay. I guess I grew up, I started becoming the breadwinner of the family at 17 years old. So it was a reality that I had to face at such a young age. And everything was basically on my shoulders and the weight was heavier. And that's why I felt as if I was alone. So, I was never really open about my struggles to my family, to my mom. They just know that, okay, every this day of the month, I pay the bills, I pay my tuition fee. So I always kept everything to myself. And I guess that also affected the way I view money. That while I was earning, while I was able to pay for my basic needs, I didn't see money as a source of freedom because I wasn't free at all. So that's why it's very important that we have a session like this to talk about, not what you view or what you think of money, but what your true relationship is with money.
Nice. Thank you. I don't think I will add to that. Floy, ang question ko naman sa'yo, yung pera, lalo na for OFWs, I don't know if there are OFWs here or maybe yung mga bumalik na dito. Klaro ba sa kanila kung ano yung pera para sa kanila? Like, magbibigay ako ng example ha. Yung pera ay pambayad lang ba ng bills? It's just a means to live your life? Minimum enjoyment. Parang, dadaan lang siya sa'yo para lang mabuhay ka. Or is it a source of empowerment? Dumating na ba yung mga kababayan natin dun sa empowerment side or nandun pa rin sa isa?
Well, if of course, if I'll be talking for the whole OFW, well, of course, depend on the situation. Pero based on in my own experience, na napagdaan ko talaga kung kung paano yung kumita ng dollars, and then at the same time pagkakita ko ilalabas ko lahat siya right on the very first day ng sweldo. I can say na within the group of friends that I had initially doon sa ibang bansa, no, yung situation namin halos pare-pareho na we live within the rat race na kumbaga we needed something na para ma-remind kami ano ba yung dapat nating gawin, paano tayo makakapag-ipon ng pera, paano tayo makakapag-invest, kasi we all know that we have the money, we earn in dollars, but the problem was that we didn't know how to manage it well at first. So the good thing is that sa ano naman kami, sabay-sabay kami. We were all willing to learn. We admitted all of our mistakes when it comes to handling our finances. And then right now yung mga taong yon is kumbaga we're all almost the same now in terms of marami akong kakilala na nakauwi na rin sa Pilipinas, not because na-retrench sila, but because they already have their own business. So that's the good thing to hear, no? Kumbaga it's all about the group of people you are with. So kung sakali na hirap sila naturuan when it comes to financial education, no, so you do it through social media. Kasi if they get to see some of our contents in Facebook, we do our contents, we educate people, not just directly telling them paano ba mag-invest in the stock market, but by telling the story of the people, no. So yung story ko started and it was able to get traction over social media, not because I educated people, but I told the audience na ganito yung nangyari sa akin. Dati ako walang pera,
bankrupt. Yun nga eh. That's where you got me eh. I was bankrupt. Lahat ng tao ayaw sabihin yan eh, di ba? Pero yun talaga yung nakakuha ng attention ng mga tao. And it was a story of the times.
Yes.
I think
Yun
a lot
din
of people
nakapagpauwi sa akin. No? I mean, yung ganung goal na ayoko na siya pagdaanan ulit, that this time I'm going home in the Philippines not because wala akong pera, but because I'm ready to face a new chapter in my life. This time with the backing of all the research na ginawa ko when it comes to investing or going to business.
Floy, lately napapansin ko, ang daming Filipinos aren't able to handle their finances better because we think like a soap opera. We think we're living in a soap opera. Alam mo yon, yung parang tayo main character doon, naapi tayo, tapos yung mayaman na, lahat ng mayaman sa soap opera, tingnan mo, kontrabida. Di ba? Para bang sinasabi na pag mayaman ka, masamang tao ka. Is that something that you've seen in the world of financial literacy? Because of course, ang dami mong members, ang daming nagme-message sa'yo, ang dami mong events.
I think nasa nasa culture talaga na pinaglakihan natin. For example, at one point wala pa namang social media, no? So when we were younger, ang ano ba yung main source of entertainment natin? It's television. So ano yung nakikita sa television? Telenovelas. So ano yung meron sa telenovelas? Bida and kontrabida, mayaman.
Radyo, si
Matar. Hindi ko na nadaanan yung radyo.
Si Matar, grabe, di mo alam yun.
More of TV naman ako. More of TV ko. So yun. So nung nangyari din yun, kumbaga nilagay din sa utak natin na kailangan ba talaga hindi, kumbaga okay lang ba maging mahirap sa buhay? Sinasabi naman sa TV, okay lang maging mahirap sa buhay kasi bida ka naman pagka mahirap ka sa buhay.
Kaso hindi tayo bida, Floy, pag walang pambayad sa ospital. Diba? Hirap nun. Hirap nun. Okay, guys. Very quick na lang because we have until 2:30 for this session. Pero may sisingit ako bago ko tawagin si Nicole. Grabe. Ganda pa naman ang question kay Nicole. Pero ang ganda din ng comment na to. Sabi, I didn't know you were the breadwinner at 17. We were classmates before and you were super nice. Congratulations to your success, Tony, by Noah Uychoko.
Thank you. Hi, Noah.
Sarap naman. Medyo nangilabot ako ng slight girl. Actually, impressive yon. Impressive. You don't look like somebody who has gone through a lot of difficulties, and I think that's great because we don't have to carry all of the baggage. Nakaka-wrinkles daw yun, guys. Alam mo, mukha kang mayaman kung hindi ka laging nakasimangot. Right? Okay. Si Nicole, eto talaga, tinabi ko to for you, Nicole, this question. Because as a Gen Z person in the world of financial literacy, would you say the young ones now, do they know what matters most to them?
It's so hard to speak for like everyone, no? But I would say that we're mostly on social media, and for me, like I grew up consuming so many content from the people I look up to, and I would say a lot like I think we need to be giving more credit to my generation also. Like a lot of people I look up to are also around my age, and they're changing the world. And I would say, yeah, definitely, people my age know what they want. No, not maybe like there's a lot of like anxiety, like people aren't always sure of what to do. But I think, yeah, giving my generation more credit. We know what we want.
So is that image of what you guys want? Does that have something to do about money or not?
I
Kasi
think
ako napansin ko like the millennial generation, mas nag-iisip sila mas parang we want to change the world. Parang ganon. Rather when you ask them, higher salary or gusto mo ng trabaho where you can change the world kahit na mas konti yung salary. With Gen Z, is it the same or nagbago na ba?
it's hard to speak for everyone, but for me, I think it's not so much about the money, no, but what money can afford you. Kasi alam naman natin, kung marami kang pera, mas konti yung problema mo, ish. Parang you have a lot of options. And I think that's what a lot of my generation wants, no? Like the freedom to choose what you want. Because the fact of the matter is nga, yun nga, we grew up being told na follow your dreams, mga ganun, do what you want. But it's so hard to follow your dreams, no? Kung wala ka namang pera pambayad. First, you need to think about practicality. And ako, for me, as someone who is part of Gen Z, unlike Sir Floy and also Antoinette, I did not like go through a period of intense struggle, financial struggle na talagang walang-wala. Walang-wala talaga, no? But for me, I grew up seeing my parents working hard to give the life that we have right now. And I think for all people growing up, no, it's a matter of also giving back to their parents in some way, but also, yeah, like carving your own path, no? And when you have the money talaga, when you work hard for the money, because may parang cushion ka, you're more free to make the decisions you want in life. But it's not the case for everyone, no? Hindi naman lahat blessed with that opportunity. But still, we work hard.
I love the feeling of empowerment. I don't know if you met my youngest son, Blue, when we had that interview. He said, Nanay, when I get older, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to be a YouTuber and I will earn 100,000 a month and you don't have anything to worry about. Alam mo yun, yung para sa kanila, parang ko feeling, 100,000, baka hindi pa tayo niyan. That's not enough to
That's
live
not
a good
enough.
life, right? That's not enough. Pero the feeling of empowerment, I think, is very important for
sure.
all the young ones. They know that they can do this. Kasi kami, nung bata pa kami, eto na po yung mga tita expressions. Nung panahon namin, wala yun eh. Wala yun. So I want the young ones here to appreciate what you have now. Because during our time, kahit na magtrabaho ka ng matagal, pagising mo umaga, alas 5, nagtatrabaho ka na, alas 10 ng gabi, nagsusunog ka pa ng kilay, pero walang hope that there will be something there at the end of the month. But now, it's very, very different. And I want all of you to answer the next question about visualizing your goals. So, matanong ko muna kayong tatlo, just one big item in your vision board at the moment. O, konting confession. One big item, one word answer. Antoinette.
A bamboo tree.
Oh, wow. Parang gusto
Ay,
ko
hindi pala, hindi pa 2 words pala, bamboo.
Parang ako tuloy yung sabi ko, one word answer. Pwede bang explain? Mamaya explain mo. How about you?
Okay,
Nicole?
sige.
Nicole.
Napaisip ako na bamboo. I was just thinking graduate. Kasi, yun yung vision.
Why not? I mean, why not, diba? Graduate. How about you, Floy?
Family.
Aha. So, well-being of the family. Pagka may asawa ka na talaga, ganun na talaga.
Oo.
Hindi na about yourself. It's always about your family. So, why bamboo, Antoinette?
Okay, so I don't have a board wherein, I paste pictures, but I always had my wallpaper in my previous phones, it was always a picture of a bamboo garden, or yung sa Japan, I forgot what it's called. But you know how when you plant, let's say, a mungo seed, it takes maybe a few days for it to sprout. Or if it's a sampaguita, it takes a week. But when you plant a bamboo seed, it takes maybe 3 to 5 years for it to grow. Like you won't even see any growth at all for that timeline. But after that 5-year period, it'll sprout as fast as, as high as 100 feet, after 2 weeks. And that says a lot about our progress, especially when it comes to money, when it comes to personal growth, investing, is that, you'll rarely see that progress from the very beginning, but it really takes patience. It takes a lot of time and also consistency. So that's why every time I would struggle and I feel like, parang is this a early life crisis? Or if I feel like things are slow, I just look at the wallpaper and then parang I feel at peace because I also love nature. I love plants too.
Merong plantita na merong maliit na bamboo, pwede na ba yon? Papadala na kita bukas mismo.
Ay, nakakaya naman po, pero sige.
Ito na yung address ko. Sabi na,
address.
But I thought kasi you wanted a bamboo, like it's your next big investment, because bamboos now, they are used for housing and they're really good investments.
Pwede.
Actually. They're really good investments. Yung particular species na yon. But you're saying a bamboo tree because it's an inspiration, it's a symbol, it's something that you really feel helps you with your financial journey. Nicole, graduation, you've been working so hard as a student kahit na study from home. At ano ba tayo? Ano yung pinaka nabulol ako.
Okay.
Nabulol ako. Doctorate level ba ang gusto nating tapusin? Anong level?
Ay, hindi. Gusto ko lang matapos yung college. I think for me, like, yung napaisip lang ako, what is in my vision board is graduate. Kasi I just remember now, when it comes to like, my entire financial journey and why I started in the first place, I think kinukwento ko to palagi is, like, people are always asking, bakit ba super interested ka about finances? Hindi ka naman from business course, hindi ka naman accounting. Why? And for me, I remember nung...
Hulaan niya. Wait. Teka. Sa mga viewers ngayon, pakihulaan nga sa comment section kung anong tinitake nito ni Nicole sa college. Tingin ko wala makakahula except your classmates.
At saka yung mga fans, maybe. I don't know if you guys know.
Ayan. Sige, anyway, continue.
No, pero I just remembered, nung talagang after graduating high school, na-stress ako na parang, oh my God, pipili na ako ng course, anong job gusto ko kunin sa future. And I didn't have an answer. I didn't know what to do. But I remember committing to myself na, alam mo, I graduate, I don't know what I want to do pagka-graduate ko ng college. But as much as possible, gusto ko nang simulan ang financial journey ko, how to be responsible and adulting. Para when the time comes, when it's time for me to graduate, hindi ko na masyadong problemahin yung mga things like this. And it's funny to me to think back na that was 4 years ago. And I'm at this point na gagraduate na ako. And I think the hard work that I did from all of those years now, like Racket, I was also making content here on YouTube, it's paying off. I haven't made it, but at the same time, I think I believe talaga manifest, no? Pag may things ka sa vision board mo, tapos yung gusto mo talagang ma-achieve, you'll find a way. You'll find a way.
I love it. Eto na mga Marites, meron naman ako ikukwento sa inyo. Tungkol naman kay Nicole to. Kaya anto na talaga, wala akong makukwento, pero kay Nicole, grabe. Eto na, I met Nicole 6 years ago when I was speaking in Xavier. Tapos nasa class ko noon mga high school students, correct, from ICA, some. Hindi ko alam kung halo-halo 'yon. And for On the Money, akala ko talaga, ang mga followers namin, mga tita din, aba, itong high school student, every time I would ask a question, talagang siya lahat ang sumasagot. And sabi niya, she was a very big fan of On the Money. High school pa lang. And si Nicole at that time, we interviewed her for On the Money because I was very impressed that the apo of the babae na nagtitinda ng turon ba yun? Sampagita. She would pass by and teach the kid every day. Tapos, after that, nung nag-college siya, nahiya na siya. Nung nag-college siya, mga UP, yung mga nagtitinda sa UP naman yung tinutulungan niya. So, a little backstory which shows that the journey is really, really interesting pag sinundan mo. Diba? And now, look where she is now.
Correct.
So, anything...
Singit ko
okay,
lang.
go.
Same
Go,
kami ng
Marites.
course. Hindi ba naman. Pero same kami ng course, I think, Nicole, if you haven't shifted.
Yes.
Same kami ng course. Hulaan nyo, Team Chinita. Okay, go.
I love it, Antoinette. Wait, ito yung mga hula nila. Political Science, Joshua Tortogo. MedTech, sabi ni Rian Rodrigo. Psychology, Joel Chacon. Multimedia Arts, kasi nga nasa social media ka, sabi ni Erwin Felipe Beronio. Food Tech. Bakit? Wait,
Ang gagaling yung mga course na yun.
bakit Food Tech? Paler Philip, tsaka Economics by Restituto Felipe Gabuya. Grabe. And the winner is Political Science. Oh, di ba? Yun nga yung kanyang, sabi ko, Nicole, anong gagawin mo pagkatapos ng college? Hindi ko alam. Okay, sige. Sino? Okay, sino pa? Vision Board, Floy. Family.
Family, yes.
Mag-aanak ka pa ba?
Well, hindi na. Kasi, kumbaga, when I first handled TGFI as a corporation, so syempre, ano pa ako noon, mataas pa yung tingin ko sa sarili ko to the point na I will be a billionaire one day. And I will buy all the things that I want. The cars, kumbaga the things that yung very superficial. And then when I had my surgery, it also made me realize na all throughout the years, I exposed myself working so hard that I forgot that yung family ko, nung nangyari sa akin yung situation na yun, I was about to go to the surgery room. Sobrang naisip ko na, bakit sobrang in-expose ko yung sarili ko sa pagtatrabaho na I was so stressed that I forgot that I have a family that they always think of me and they love me so much. Of course, I love them so much. So after that, right after na matapos yung surgery, sobrang naging chill na lang ako with work and all the things that I do. And at the same time, kumbaga mas nag-multiply pa yung income eh. Kumbaga, it's especially with what's happening right now, you will see that there's a big importance of having a family. Kumbaga yung love ng family should be there. And yun dapat huwag nilang kakalimutan. So every goals that they have in life, whether it's an investment or business, the love of family should always be there.
Right. And when we say family, I know you also mean this, Floyd, dadagdagan ko lang. When you say family, there are some people who, through no fault of their own, don't have a family, right? But you can create your own family and you can have the same relationship with them. It might be friends from social media or basta some small group of people that you love in the same manner. Number 5, in under 1 minute, I'll start with Floyd because ikaw yung nahuli. Comment on, wala sa laki ng kinikita yan, nasa na itatabi yan?
Yeah, I totally agree with it. So it's kumbaga kung magkano may itabi mo every time that 'di ba nagtuturo tayo sa mga mommies, so yung mga mommies ngayon sobrang minimum wage income, pero when they realize na tinuruan natin sila na kahit mag-ipon pa lang ng piso at araw-araw, that's 30 pesos in one day. May ipon ka ba ngayon? Nung bago tayo magturo nun, tinatanong na sila kung may ipon ba sila. Sinasagot nila wala silang ipon. Pero right after we educated them and after 2 months of checking on them, tinanong natin sila, magkano ang ipon mo? Supposedly, we thought yung ipon nila, it's just by the hundreds. Nagugulat na lang kami na by the thousands na yung ipon nila. So it's not about magkano man yung kinikita mo, it's about how much you save on a regular basis.
Ay, grabe, dami kong iyak sa activity na yan with the nanays in Rizal. Nicole pala. Nicole, pabalik tayo. What would you say about this? Wala sa kinikita, nasa na itatabi. So, let's say 7,000 pesos kinikita. Totoo pa rin ba to? If you're talking about only, like let's say, I met somebody in Pasig, has 8 people living in the house with her. She's the main breadwinner and her kita, I think, is 7,000. Is this still true?
For me, I would agree and also disagree. Kasi at the same time, for sure, talagang important na itatabi mo yung lahat kinita mo. But the problem here in the Philippines is that yung wages natin, it's not that big in the first place. Kung 10,000 lang kinikita mo, tapos 5 kayo sa family, hindi talaga enough yun kahit nasabihin mo, so tinatabi yan eh. No, I think talaga, like, what's also important for people to realize na, yes, important yung saving, no, the habit of financial literacy. But it's a wider problem, no? I think there's really a need for a lot of people to realize na may problem. Hindi enough yung kinikita natin minsan. And sadly, like a lot of people kailangan talaga rumakit para you can afford things. But, you know, I think that's my answer. That's my answer to that.
Thanks. Antoinette, there are people who earn 1 million per month but spend 1.5 million per month. What would you say to that? In the context of wala sa laki ng kinikita yan, nasa ina itatabi.
Okay, to just put it in one sentence, the ultimate measure of wealth is not your job or how much you earn, but your net worth. People often think that okay, it's if let's say you own a lot of things, but if everything is under credit, then your net worth is still zero or negative pa nga, diba? And that's why I would not, judge someone by the amount of things that they have, luxury bags or cars or Hermes, just like maybe what Salve loves, but more for the net worth. And that's why I completely agree with Nicole and Floyd's point about how it's really important to be able to build a system that allows you to save, not just based on your income, but also being able to manage what you have where you are currently. That's my take on it.
Fantastic. Okay, I'll just read some very interesting comments from our viewers. It's really enlightening. Sabi ni Christine Famisaran. Really enlightening. I'm 34 years old, but I still don't know how to manage my finances. But you're here. You're gonna do fine. I'm trying to save, but unexpected finances come. It's really hard for me. That's why I joined this expo. I really like this topic. Perfect. We're happy that you're here. Sabi naman ni Ana Pernia, Team Chinita collab daw. O, ayan, dapat may project na kayong dalawa.
Sige, Nicole, sasayaw ka. Joke
Oh my gosh.
Wow, we will see a different side of Nicole here.
Nako, oh my gosh.
Aabangan ko yan. Papalabas natin sa DCMM Teleradyo. Joke. Tara, sabi ni Tara, Pimentel siguro to. Was it always easy for you guys to save? I've been trying to build my emergency fund, but I always end up spending portions for unplanned expenses. Ang ganda ng tanong, babalikan natin yan sa open forum. I'll read this from Kevin Pungilitan. I'm a seafarer in my early 30s. Sinasabi ng parents, mag-ipon ako para maparenovate ang bahay namin. Feeling ko, di na ako makakapag-asawa. At makakapag-building ng family ko kung doon lang ako magfo-focus. Nako, hug, Kevin! Baka si Antoinette ang makasagot dyan. Last point, mahalin ang sarili. Ay, binasa ko. Ito na po yung last point natin. Sabi nila, your self-worth is not determined by your net worth. So, dapat kailangan i-celebrate natin yung sarili natin, our small wins, and if ever may mga speed bumps along the way, dapat okay lang yun. And then we just get back on track. This is very tricky because nga, a lot of people, because of social media, nako-compare natin yung finances natin with other people. Correct? And now, it feels like tayo na lang ang pobre sa buong mundo. Kaya nagkakaroon ng depression and all of those things. Ibang level na problema yan. How have you dealt with, I'll start with Antoinette again. How have you dealt with this in under 1 minute in this field of financial literacy that you don't really focus on comparing finances ng isang tao financials with another person?
You know what, Tito Boy, naging showbiz yung segment. But you know what, actually, personally, Tita girl na. Oh, anyway.
Magkaibigan kami ni Tito Boy.
Really? Pa-introduce naman.
Why not?
Okay. Back to my answer, actually. Even personally, it took such a long time for me to heal. And now that I'm on social media, and I think Nicole and Floyd can also relate to this, is, there are a lot of people who ask, okay, how can we be like you, right? How to be you po? But even then, I wouldn't recommend anyone to go through the same path as I did, because again, it was like riddled with despair, and at the same time, like, grabe. I would always compare myself to other people, especially with what they have and what I don't. And I wish to everyone listening here is, eventually I hope you look in the mirror and you tell yourself that the only person that you want to be is yourself. Because I believe that the difference between self-worth and your net worth is love. Diba? Sa net worth kasi it's just numbers. It's numbers on a balance sheet. So there's love is absent in there. But with self-worth, parang you will never actually measure up when you're comparing your finances to other people because you're always gonna fall short. There will always be someone like Miss Salva earning more, saving more, diba? Floyd saving more, diba? Or having more Hermes bags. So, what's really important is being or learning when is enough for you.
Right.
Diba? And that's going back to your relationship with money and what you plan, what kind of lifestyle you want to achieve. Not just for your goals, but really more for personal growth. So yan yung take ko with self-worth equating people to your net worth.
Nicole, quick, in under 1 minute, can people go overboard when you talk about loving yourself?
Overboard with loving yourself? I don't think so. I don't think you can ever love yourself enough. The opposite nga, people don't love themselves enough. But I think then and answering this, going back to like if you love yourself so much, I think we're all too hard on ourselves. Sometimes you don't treat a friend how you treat yourself. Minsan we are our harshest critics. But when it comes to like achieving your goals, working on your finances, I think it's really hard not to compare yourself with other people, especially in the age of social media, no. But I have this quote that I like. I can't say it word per word, but it's more of like you don't look at other people's bowls to see if you have as much as them. Parang you have to check if they have enough. And if you reframe it in that way, no, coming from from a place of love and abundance, kasi usually when you view things na in a scarcity mindset na there's not enough for people to go around, like it's either akin lang siya or wala sa iba. Ang hirap na i-explain, no? But I think it's hard not to compare yourself with other people, but if you do love yourself and sa sarili mo na you're doing your best, the only person you need to compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. And here in this expo right now, we have a lot of people who are trying their best in managing their finances, learning what they need to do in order to reach the goals that they have. I think that's enough, and I hope if I'm able to answer the question.
One-liner from Floyd. I think these are great parang pantapos ng ating session today because these are very wise, very nice comments from our guests today. Floyd, one-liner on loving yourself.
Well, in terms of loving yourself, ano na lang, I just want to do a one-liner when it comes to network, no. Lalo na yung mga hirap na hirap when it comes to making additional source of money. For me, your network is your network. Yeah.
Network. All right. Thank you so much to the three of you. Maraming salamat sa pagsama sa atin. At sa mga nanonood ngayong hapon na ito, sana tuloy-tuloy kayong manood hanggang tomorrow because you will also be watching a lot more sessions and episodes na matututunan nyo talaga everything about money. Thank you, everybody. Like